The stock market is rallying today. So far, the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq have been rallying for quite some time this morning, reaching above our bear market territory. We're slightly above right now. We are hitting some pretty hefty resistance here, but there is a lot of enthusiasm behind our rally right now. So we may continue to climb higher. And we are about 10 seconds away from New York session open. So let's check out what is going to happen during the New York session this morning. Are we going to continue our rally or are we going to fall back down? Here we go. New York session is open. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button for me, do me a favor. Please hit that subscribe button. About 88% of you that watch my content have not subscribed to the channel yet, so I would just ask a favor. Just hit that subscribe button for me. It's free. Helps me out. That way I can continue to bring you guys content and continue to make my content better. Also, if you guys are interested, I have a free Discord. Link is in the description down below as well. All right. So just to catch up, if this is your first time watching, you guys are watching me trade within my Top Step account, currently in a 50K challenge. I'm about halfway through my challenge with Top Step here. And yesterday, I decided not to trade within that account just because of the volatility. And I think that may be my decision for today as well. I do have a practice account also. And because I want to continue to get reps in and continue testing my dynamic strategy that I'm changing over to, I will be hopefully placing some trades within the practice account today. If the market shows some signs of stability today, then I would like to switch over and complete that challenge, hopefully. Right, but I'm very close. I've never been this close to passing a challenge before, so I'm going to be smart about it, and I'm not going to be um, overzealous and try to get it done just to get it done. I want to get it done the right way and without risking the account itself. So if I have to hold off for a few days from trading within that account, then that's what I'll do. I'm not in a super rush. I've been waiting over 3 years for this, so I can wait a little bit longer, right? The markets are wild right now. Extreme volatility, extreme uncertainty. Yesterday, we had range movements that the market has not seen for a long time. Some have said haven't seen before. Some very, what's the word I'm looking for? Elder traders, traders that have been around for a very long time, have done some interviews yesterday that have said that they've never seen trading like this before. So this is kind of new territory for a lot of us. It's definitely new territory for me. So I am going to do the right thing and try to hold off with the extreme volatility here. I don't want to risk that account because I'm very close, very close. So I do have this practice account, which is what you guys are seeing right now. And I will be probably taking some trades within the practice account just to get some reps in, right? The more reps, the better you get. The more you watch, the better you get. I'm starting to switch over to a more dynamic strategy because I'm realizing that the markets are very dynamic, very fluid, and they change. It's not exactly the same all the time. Yes, you know, I said this yesterday too. It's like the market goes through seasons, right? It changes. So if you have a strategy that's a strict strategy, it's this, this, check off these boxes, um, that may work in certain types of markets, right? Certain seasons of the market, but then it may change like it has recently and it may not work. So I want to be able to learn the market and learn how to trade in a way where I can trade in almost any type of market, right? So that's what I'm trying to kind of migrate into a different type of strategy that's a little bit more dynamic. It flows with the market. And at the end of the day, really, the market is always looking for supply and demand, right? Liquidity. So you can trade almost in any market just based off of those few things there. And if you learn how the market moves and how it, you know, where to find liquidity and key levels, then you can trade in almost any type of market. So, for instance, here you can see that we are starting to. There's liquidity here. There's sellers here, right? You can see that by the wicks, and we aren't really closing or passing this point here. You can see there's like a shelf here, right? So we have liquidity here. So this is telling me that we are reaching a top here, possibly, and sellers are coming in now and starting to push price back down. We also have liquidity here. Right, you can see almost the same type of thing. Another kind of shelf here. You can see there's a little liquidity grab here before we had this nice move back to the upside. Right, so we're trading in between two areas of liquidity. This one might be a little bit more heavy, but we'll see. This seems to be working out for me. I'm starting to pick things up and see things in the market that I've never seen before just by watching the charts and the price action. And it's working out pretty well so far. So I like to trade often in the practice account, especially during times of uncertainty, so that I can still get the reps in and still be testing my strategy, if you will, without risking the actual accounts. Because I'm still, fairly um, new or moderate with trading. Definitely not a professional by any means, but I hope to get there one day. So you can see how we had some liquidity up here. We had a bunch of sellers here, and we have pushed price down past the previous liquidity area that we had here. So now we look for confirmation. Markets are quite wild recently. So top headline right now, stock market today bounces more than 1,200 points for the Dow, S&P 500, and the Nasdaq rallying as well as tariff angst eases. This is the thing, right? The market almost always overreacts, and I feel like the rest of the world is overreacting also. Instead of just kind of taking a chill pill, letting everything soak in for a minute, and then coming to the table with clear, um, appropriate minds and dealing with things versus just throwing, reciprocal this and we're going to hit you with this and this, that, and the other thing. And we're part of that too. I'm not saying that we're not, but you know, cooler and calmer heads would prevail. But as we start to get, days and weeks into this, yeah, it's gonna fizzle out and things will start to calm down. One of the other things I saw this morning too is Tesla is rallying also because Tesla isn't really going to be affected much or as much as some of the other auto um, companies in the industry. So Tesla's investors are happy about that. See what else we got going on. China's currency is sinking. They sank down to an 18-month low, right? So this is kind of one of those things where, who can hold out longer, especially between us and China, right? Who can hold out longer? So here's the retest possibly, right? So you had a bunch of liquidity here that pushed price past a key area here. So you're starting to get a retest maybe. Let's see if this holds. So this today's high here is marked pre-market, right before the New York session. I like to go off of this as a key level. Here you see our bear market territory line, which is your 20% pullback from all-time highs. All right, we still got buyers coming in. Lots of volatility. Take a look at the 15. Eh. So this can flip at any moment in time, right? And actually turn and continue. So we got to be careful here. If we push past the previous day highs, then maybe we do get a continued bounce. But if you look at where we're sitting on this day chart here, pretty decent resistance right now, which is right at that 20% mark, right at that bear market territory threshold. So this is going to be, this is a very, very key level right now to see if we have enough within this rally to continue pushing, or is there still too much uncertainty and doubt for the market to continue climbing here? So very, very key level where we're at right now. So we just keep an eye on it. Too early to get into anything here because we still might consolidate for a little while. If we break above our highs here, then good signal that we might, continue at least till previous day highs. But we may not have enough strength here. We'll see. We'll see. We had a pretty good rally here this morning, so there might be enough enthusiasm to get behind it. The problem with right now is any piece of news, any tweet, any Truth Social thing, anything could scare the market to a flush or the opposite direction also. I mean, we saw that yesterday. We had some, you know, fake news rumor that came out, which just threw the market to the upside, which tells you that the market is just waiting for something positive. And there will be enough enthusiasm at that point to get in behind that and move this market back to the upside. The market is just waiting for something. So we're at this like, teetering level, I think, where we still have enough enthusiasm or hope to take the market to the high side if we get something really, really good as far as news. But we're also at a level where if that news is bad, um, we could also get a dump, right? Let me see. What do we have for data coming out today, if any? No, nothing. There's a press briefing at the White House at 1 o'clock today. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, not really much. Business optimism index came in a little lower than expected, but that's about it. Nothing going on today. Tomorrow, we have CPI, right? Today's Tuesday. Tuesday, yeah. Um, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Thursday CPI. Tomorrow's FOMC minutes. But we have CPI and PPI for China tomorrow and Japan. Japan is PPI tomorrow. Yeah. Thursday, we have CPI data. And then Friday, our PPI data comes out. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, here we go. A little push here. Very nice. All right. You got to be careful here because there's so much downside and you don't know how much upside there is because, like I said, anything can turn this market on a dime. So if you feel like you need to be a part of this rally, just be careful. Maybe get in and get out. Don't stay in too long. Feel like that's where we're in a like a scalping kind of market for safety. South Korea will not follow China in fighting back against tariffs imposed by the United States. So you do have some countries starting to break away from like China and UK who are saying they're going to fight until the end and blah blah blah. Um, if this continues to happen, I feel like it's only a matter of time until the UK or even China may say, okay, maybe we need to sit down and chit chat. Japan is already, I think they've started negotiations with Japan. Uh, so now you have, South Korea saying the same thing. You had a couple of other countries as well. So we'll see. China and UK, they're really the big ones, right? Very, very large consumer markets. Yep, South Korean acting president. We will not band together with China, Japan to counter U.S. tariffs. So that's good news there. Oh, Okay. That's that for news so far. So it looks like maybe a little liquidity grab here. So we knew there was liquidity up in this area. This looks like a little liquidity grab, but we'll see if we break these lows here. We could just be starting to trade a little sideways, little consolidation. Everything's still in an uptrend so far, so nothing's changed yet as far as the direction. If we break lows here, then we could possibly be getting a reversal. Well, we'll see. Nothing here screaming, get into the market yet, for me anyway. Bouncing and bouncing. Market wants to rally, but there's still a lot of fear, I think. Although our shorts and our longs are starting to switch here, so we might be getting a little bit more rally. It's a nice push here. If we break here, we might be continuing to the upside. Yeah, our long positions are starting to build here. I wonder what gold's doing right now. Some range trading here for gold. Hmm. Here we go. Some decent volume coming in here on this candle, but you can see it's how it's struggling. We're starting to make a nice little channel here. You can kind of picture that. Yeah. So risky. There's so much downside. 181, 142. So your average long positions here are right in this area here, which makes sense. People probably getting in on this candle here. Let's see this. Let's see. We might get a good push out here. Maybe. Struggle, struggle. You see, we are starting to get some support up in here. This might be a good. This might be a good place for longs here, as long as this continues to hold. I'm not going to do it just because I don't know how much more upside you have, but we have a ton of downside. They're still holding. Can almost see how the liquidity has flopped here, right? There you go. So you had sellers here. You came up, um, grabbed some liquidity, got sent back down, grabbed some liquidity, big push up, and now your liquidity in this area here turned to buyers or left more buyers than sellers, I guess, right? And here you go. So now you're starting to make a continuation to the upside here. So I think maybe now that we're getting some confirmation of a continued move to the upside, if we come back down to these levels, then it might be a good place to maybe take a long, but we'll see what happens here. We're not too far away from previous day highs, okay, which is where we reached yesterday in our buy the news, sell, or buy the rumor, sell the news um, move here that we had. But there's enough there to make a decent trade. We are looking pretty good here for a continuation to the upside. I'd say at least till your previous day high if we make it there. But I would like to see us come back down to our liquidity here and then maybe take a long position from there. We'll see. Small position if we're going to do it. Micros might even be the way today, just because of the volatility. We'll see though. Maybe we'll take just a single contract here back to the upside if we can get a decent pullback. We're still expanding our long positions here as we climb higher, so good sign there as well, right? So we're now sitting at 69% of positions are long here on this platform. Nice. All right, we didn't get the full pullback that we wanted, but that's okay. Here's our previous day highs are coming up. Mm. Nice volume spike on this previous candle here. Honestly, I think I think I'm gonna wait until we hit previous day highs and see what happens there. If we make it there. If we make it there, that might be a good place to actually short. So I'm gonna wait. Long short positions are starting to get a little closer together here. It's a nice little shelf here. Boop. Yeah. Let's see price push up to previous day high and see what price does there. I think that's safer than trying to take a long. If we had gotten a a better pullback into this liquidity zone here, then I'd say you still had some room to make a good trade here. But here at this point, really, there's not that much more to go. So now I say, for me, I'm going to wait until we hit previous day high, see what kind of reaction we get from price here, and then maybe take a short off of that. That is the plan. Hmm. Trump says he had a great call with South Korea and is waiting for China's call. Don't hold your breath. Treasury sell-off led by two-year note as traders pair expectations for May Fed rate cut. Oh, let's you know what? Let's take a look at that actually. Let's see what rate cut possibilities are now. Do, 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 do. Tools, Fed rate monitor. Okay. So it looks like we're starting to flip again, where we're heading back towards a more um, higher percentage of no cut for May. But June, different story. So we're sitting at 79.4% chance of no cut in May. But June, we are now sitting at a 71.3% chance of a 25 basis point cut. And then you move to July, another 25 basis point. We're climbing there as well, 60% so far. We even have a 14% chance right now, and this is still far out, right? July, of a 50 basis point cut, providing we get a cut in June. There's a 40%, 14% chance of another 50 basis points after that. But we'll see. We're far out. Right now, we're sitting at just under 80% chance of no cut in May. All right, so we're approaching our previous day high. My plan here is to see what kind of reaction we get off of previous day high here, and then um, possibly take a short from here. But we'll see. We got some enthusiasm today. We've moved from yesterday's low. We're up 1,842 points. It's 11.1%. Today so far, from today's lows, 3.7%. Pretty decent move. So we are now outside of bear market territory and back into correction territory. See how long this holds. I'd really like to see price come up here. We're still like 63% long positions versus short. Everything's more long than short. Gold, the S&P, the Nasdaq's starting to swap a little bit now. We moved down to 55% for long positions. So we might be starting to take some profits here as we get close to our previous day high. I would love to see us get all the way up here, maybe even push a little past, and then get a nice move to the downside. And maybe we'll look for a short from there. Still looking very strong on the 15-minute, very strong on the daily. We'll see. There we go. So nice support here. Yeah. So now we're looking for price to break above these highs and hopefully push to previous day high. Here we go. So we should be getting our push here now to our previous day high. Maybe we're not gonna make it. Stay patient. U.S. Treasury ETFs see biggest daily inflow since August. Let's see here. Wow. So ETFs that focus on investing in treasuries attracted $5.6 billion yesterday. Largest daily inflow since August 28th. Hmm. So clearly starting to slow down a little bit here, but we may be able to still grab enough to reach here. I would really like to see price come up to previous day high before we look for shorts. We're still long position heavy. Come on, get up there. Hmm. Definitely starting to slow down. Still long, um, still heavy long positions here. 18218. That's the average long position right now. Excuse me. I think everybody else is targeting here too. There we go. Let's get up there. If we reach previous day high and I start to see the long positions drop off, then that would be a nice sign that everybody's kind of on the same page, but we'll see what happens here. The long positions are actually moving up right now. It's interesting. What else could they be targeting? Maybe here. Maybe your lows here. Maybe. How's everybody else doing the past couple days? Any trades? How are you guys been doing in this crazy market? Mm. Feel like I need another espresso. Come on, you could do it. One more push up. There we go. Come on. We're so close. Hmm. We're still reaching. Here's what we look like on the 15. Really nice, strong run here. We are starting to get some resistance here. See how long that holds. So we still have some liquidity down here. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down here and try again. We'll see what price does. I mean, really, you kind of have any of this area here. So probably have to break below all of this. Still got a ways. We still got a lot of room here. We can still pull back a little bit and then try again. That's why I want to see us push up to it, maybe even past it a little bit, and then get a quick drop. That would be a little bit more confirmation that we are turning here. Um, Otherwise, if we just kind of play around here, we have a lot of room to pull back and then try again. Not really confirmation in either direction. Big old waiting game. All right, here we go. We might see a little push in the next two candles. Maybe. There we go. Mhm. Can start to see a little shelf forming here. If we can't push up, we got close, but you saw as soon as we got close, that price action changed very quickly and we got rejected very quickly. We were able to push back up, but look at this. We are starting to get some signs of decent rejection here. Still a little too early to say for sure. But you can see the similarities from here to here, right? So some liquidity here, big push down. Still no confirmation, but yeah, that 15-minute candle actually closed bearish. So this might be our turnaround here. Hmm. Yep, and we're switching. We're getting heavy shorts now also. So the sentiment on the platform here has changed also, which is what I was kind of expecting once we reached this point. I was hoping we'd, grab a little liquidity from up above here and then push down strong, but I guess it was all sitting right here. Still not a confirmation. But we are starting to build on the short side now. We don't have to get in super early here because there is lots of room to the downside. There's lots of room, right? So you can see how this 15-minute candle closed bearish here after that pretty strong rejection. So a couple of key levels here I'd like to see price move past before we hop on in. See, here we're still holding this shelf so far, right? So I don't want to get in too early. Okay. So one thing we definitely don't want to get caught in is consolidation either, right? So we're still holding our liquidity here. We still got buyers coming in down here. Clearly, we have sellers up here. So, which one is going to fade out first is the question. And I'd rather figure that out before I get into a trade than get into something and then be playing this little bouncy game, especially in this kind of market. I want to get in and out of a trade. I don't want to be stuck in a trade. The longer you're in a trade, the more risk you have. So I wait for a little bit more confirmation on one direction or the other before we get into something so we can get in and get out quickly. That's what I'm looking for. So you can still see we're holding here, right? And getting some push to the upside out of this zone here. So this is still valid until we break this, you know, we could still get enough to push up to the high side and move past. I don't know. You got a lot of enthusiasm today. You got to think about that too. But the question is how much? And, we're one Truth Social comment away from which way, That's where we're sitting right now. So got to be picky, picky. So we got some key levels here too that we can see. If we don't break these, and then we push back down, then we can look for a break of this zone here. But as of right now, this is 50-50. We could go in either direction here. We could just be consolidating. We could be taking a break. We had a nice long run to the upside here, so the buyers may just need a little break. Yeah, even on the platform, we're like 50-50 with positions. We're 54% long right now, but just a minute ago, we were the opposite, 54% short. So we're kind of, again, we're in this 50-50 place where price really can go in any direction here. So I don't want to get caught in a trade in this particular area. What I would like to see is if we come down past here and we get a retest and a reject here, then that would probably be a decent position to take a short. Same for the opposite, honestly. If we push back to the high side and we push past our highs here, a retest, and then maybe you can continue long, but we'll see. I would rather go short. I think we have way more downside than we do upside. But that's just my opinion. That's just the way I see it. So we just wait. More waiting. We don't even have any news coming out. Let's see. Nope. Nothing there. I guess it's kind of a good thing, though. Let the market settle out what it actually wants to do. India trade minister discussions with the U.S. on a bilateral trade deal are going in the right direction. It's good that these are coming from the leaders of other countries. It's a little bit more confirmation, I guess. Okay, this actually looks like we may continue up. What do we want to talk about? Let's have a little conversation. What trades are you guys in? Or what have you taken this week? Were they good? Were they bad? Have we learned anything this week so far in this craziness? How's the weather where you are? Finally getting some sun where I am. Been a lot of rain lately. It's really not much to do right now other than wait for this to play out. All right. Let's see what happens here. So, like I said, if we do get a continuation to the downside, I'd like to see us push past here and then maybe get a retest, and then we'll go from there. Just keep in mind, you do have a lot of room down here for price to, kind of consolidate in. So, all right. So, the next two candles will tell us a lot. Okay, push through. Now let's see if we can close outside here and then get a continuation. So we didn't close outside, we pushed through, but let's see if we get a continuation. Not the strongest continuation that I would like to see, but that's okay. So let's see where we go from here, and then if we get a retest. And we have levels of liquidity here. So again, any point in here, honestly, we could turn and continue up. So positions on the short side are building. It's not bad. So you can see our 15-minute here closed pretty strong, but I don't think strong enough to definitively say, yes, we're getting a pullback, or a larger pullback anyway. We still could end up going back to the upside here. Can actually Eh. Oh, that's from yesterday. That's not what I want to do. Go away. Yeah, it's not the greatest trend line, more of a curve there, but come off our lows here. Yeah, a little bit of a steeper trend there. I mean, either way, we're still in an upward trend. I don't necessarily like this one. I'd rather come off the lows, but there's no confirmation. All I'm trying to point out is there's really no confirmation yet that we are completely flipping. Um, so I like how this looks. Looks good on the 15. So our next heavy zone, I would say, would be in here. I mean, if you wanted to trade with the trend instead of looking for an opposing trade, this may actually be a good area to take back to the upside. It's not like we got some huge move to the downside that would say that we're getting a complete change in direction today. We didn't get that. We got a nice, easy rollover, plenty of liquidity left behind, so this could just be a normal retracement into a key level before moving back to the upside here. Could go either way. And there you go. Hmm. Not convinced here. How about you guys let me know what you think here? Should we trade with the trend, or should we take the downside? What is your opinion? Because we are coming into a place where, I mean, honestly, we can go either way. It would obviously depend on what price does within this area here, but volume, good question. Good question. So here's the yeah, so volume, let's take a look at where we match up here. So some volume spikes on these three candles here. All three are about equal. We had a volume spike on this candle here. Everything else is pretty low. Um, we are getting more volume on our current candle. It's to be honest with you, the volume is kind of equal right now on both sides here. A little too early to tell. Let's see where this closes actually. If we stay strong here, so this candle might have told us the story here because you can see the shelf that we've built here, right? Liquidity, liquidity. This close here could either be grabbing and then we're pushing back up. Or if we close below here, then we could be sweeping and moving down. The volume's actually starting to um, fall off here as we come down further. So we're retesting the highs of previous sessions. So we're at a key level here, right? Key level where price had a difficult time moving past before. Eventually did. We're now retesting. Starting to squeak past. Hmm. Volume to the downside is building a little bit. So we had a spike in volume on that last candle, but you can see we didn't really move that far. Couldn't really maintain. We might start to see some selling pressure come in now. Shorts are definitely, short positions are definitely building. Okay. Now we're seeing some volume coming in. We're up to 69% short positions. And this is the average, is right about here. There we go. Okay, volume starting to build. And we might have to push through some buyers here. Mm. Let's see if we can possibly get a retest here. Didn't quite make it past there. Uh, So I'd be looking for a retest here. I might actually just take a short position.
Order
But
filled.
we're going to try one here. Single contract. Let's see how it works out. If we break below, maybe we'll add. Let's go just past midway here. See how this candle closes first. Maybe we'll go just above it. It's about halfway. Hmm, I don't really like that. All right, let's just keep it safe. We'll go there. If we break above this wick here, that trade is invalid, so I'm okay with putting the stop loss there. It's not bad. Small risk. This is in my practice account, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Don't like the look of this so far, but let's see what happens. What I'd like to see is a good, strong push to the downside here. Give it a go. Definitely got some volume coming in now. So if this candle doesn't give us a push, then I may just close the position regardless. Just cut the losses. I don't want to be in trades long with this type of market. So I want to see a good push down here. If we don't get it, I'm just going to cut my losses regardless of where we are. If we can push here, then we'll stick around. But I need to see a decent push, at least past our wick here. Yeah, I don't like that we're reaching it, but then getting pushed back. So I'm
Order
just going to
filled.
cut the losses here. No big deal. If it runs, it's fine, but we're starting to build some support here, so I didn't really like the way it looks. And in this market, in and out. So we'll take a little teeny tiny L on that. No biggie. That would have been nice to see here. Yeah, this may become a very key level here, especially today. The market has moved a significant amount to put itself back above bear market territory. Um, let's see if we have enough strength to stay. Otherwise, if we do push below, we might see a pretty decent drop after that. But it looks like the market's trying to stay above. Yeah, watch for the push down now. Especially once we passed here. I think we might get a decent move to the downside, but we'll see. So I wasn't wrong in my idea here. Got in too early. Should have waited for this rollover first here. All right. Let's see. So here's New York session low right here. Okay, so here's your push past. Here's your retest. Yeah, this could be interesting. Majority of the platform is short right now. Looking for New York session lows here. All right, there's New York session low. All right, it looks more like a reversal now. Make sure that this just isn't a liquidity grab. Might be making our move. All right. If we look at the 15 here, this is where we're sitting right now. I think if we push down, we get a bounce off of this area here, and then we can continue further down. So this trade up here was a good trade. I got in too early. I should have waited for um, a further retest into this area, which is what I was saying, and then waited for our pushback out. This would have been a nice spot right here to get into this trade in hindsight. It's always 2020 in hindsight, right? But, learning experience here, right? I had the right idea here. I was looking for the retest. For the continued push down, I should have waited for this candle here, which would have been the nice signal for us to continue moving to the downside. So, lesson learned here, more patience. So now looking for price to come down to these lows, maybe get a little bounce, and then continuation to the downside. Because I think now we've reversed. It's probably safe to say now we're looking for lows of the day from this point, but I'd like to see, um, obviously, get a little bit of a better entry. Yeah. That's too much of a bounce, or too quick, I should say. Maybe not. Maybe we're just retesting here. This came in on volume though, so I don't know if I like that. So big volume spike on both of these candles here.
Order
All right,
filled.
let's try here. If we get back down to lows here, I'm going to take 2 contracts off and then let one ride. Might as well be a break even there. So we're looking for previous lows. I'm going to take 2 contracts off and we'll let one ride and probably move the stop loss down also. See if we can get there. Beautiful push. Beautiful.
Order
Let's take
filled.
2 off. I like it. Move our stop to above here. Single contract left. Let this one run. And we'll just keep our stop loss tight. This will be the trade for the day. Might be getting some support here. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, building a little shelf here. We'll wait. If we continue to push down, I'll continue to trail the stop loss here. But for right now, we'll leave it where it's at. Patience and no hesitation pays off. If we close at the same level, honestly, I might just close this or let it hit the stop.
Order filled.
Beautiful. I'm happy with that. Happy with that. So we were right about here. Yeah. Ah, all right. Nice. What do you guys think of that? I think that was a well executed trade there. Seeing how we missed the first opportunity, but hey, just waited for the next one there. I think that was pretty good. Yeah, happy with that. Good for the day. Not bad. I actually felt pretty confident about that. I should have switched over to the other account. It's all right. It's all good. We'll get there eventually. Get there eventually. You might actually think about taking a long hair if we continue to hold here and we move. But for me, I'm going to be done for the day. Perfect timing, 11:30. It's a great day. It's a great time to end the day. That was a nice trade, I think. Um, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I don't even think we were really ever in drawdown there. Maybe real quick, but that was a nice run. That was a good trade. I wonder if the market's going to continue pushing. Cool. Nice. All right. That's going to be it for me today. Let me take a screenshot of this here. Bring this back a little bit for some context. All right. Click. Yeah, we might have some more downside. Hmm. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I need to like snap myself out. So otherwise, I'll give back what I just gained. And we don't want to do that. So I'm going to call it for today. Going to be all done. Tomorrow's another day. Maybe we get a little bit more calming in the market. This was pretty good today, actually. We had a nice rally. a nice pullback. There's nothing really volatile about this today. Hopefully tomorrow this continues, and then maybe tomorrow we can look for a nice setup like we just saw here so that we can finish the challenge. We'll see. Anyway, join me tomorrow. Maybe we'll get that done. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to all my subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. I appreciate it. And then don't forget to join the free Discord. Links in the description down below. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching.